Right now in Guatemala, there's a situation where there's widespread violence at all levels. But that cannot be the sole explanation for the violence that LGBTI people face. We have to see that there are human rights violations that are systematic in nature, and that there's discrimination that is institutionalized, and that it affects the lives of LGBTI people and their rights to education, to health, to work, and to human dignity in general. There are reports of extrajudicial killings, enforced disappearances, torture, extortion, often committed by armed forces, namely the police or the army, as well as people in organized crime and the juvenile gangs that affect this area of the world. LGBTI people, and particularly transgender women, suffer from transphobia, lesbophobia, homophobia, biphobia, and it's what the basis of a dynamic that excludes them from their families, from school, from society in general, that often pushes them to no other recourse but to conduct sex work, and that leaves them very vulnerable to further violence, to be more exposed to HIV. We see in throughout the Latin American region, and Guatemala is no exclusion from that, there's a prevalence of HIV of 1% in the population. For transgender women, that is 35%. For men who have sex with men, gay men, that is 18%. So we can see from those figures an example of that dynamic of exclusion and of violations of human rights. I believe that as an attorney, as a human rights lawyer, I must be committed to ensure dignity for all human beings, and that includes LGBTI people. I have worked in the past with organizations of transgender women to adopt a legislation that would recognize their gender identity and their autonomy. This would be different from other legislations that are in effect in even the first world, in Europe, in North America, where transgender people are required to have surgery or to quit their families, their children, their spouses, or undergo psychiatric evaluations or psychological tests, or present witnesses attesting to their identity. And that would only require a simple administrative procedure for their sex and their names to be changed in official documents as a means to have their gender identity recognized. This would allow them to apply for jobs, for pensions, for opening bank accounts, for renting apartments, and in general, giving them a way to express themselves. I believe that there is a danger to conducting human rights work everywhere in the world, and no matter where you are. But I believe that the more you become vocal and visible in your work, there's a greater danger for be it governmental forces or homophobic or transphobic forces to attack you. So it can seem counterintuitive, but I think the more you speak and the louder you speak, the better protected one will be.